Thank you for the hydrate too. And hello everyone. Welcome. Just going to be fixing a few audio things on the fly, so please bear with. All right. Okay. So hello everybody. Welcome. I'm actually doing a stitch with me this time. Oh dear. Hopefully, my voice is back. My chest is feeling better. It's going to be good. All right. Let's see. Just gotta fix some stuff. All right, let's try that. See if that's a little bit clearer. I don't know. I believe my noise suppression is okay, but that might be part of the problem. All right. How is that? All right, let's just try bumping up the ratio a little bit more. Just trying to dial it in here. Thank you everybody for bearing with. Hello Toot, and thank you for the hydrate, of course. Okay, I made one more little adjustment there. All right. I think that's what we're going with, but I may have to do some adjustments up. How? Why are you the way that you are? I had my window up in front of Pow, and I couldn't see that she's just trying to flip her bowl here. Well, hello, friends. Just moving this a little bit, you know, not show you guys my to-do lists for the day as I try and wrestle this fabric into my hoop here. So hi, I'm back. It's been nice. I mean, what am I trying to say? I am very happy that I was able to stream these past 2 weeks, despite my chest being not up to talking for 2 hours. So thank you everyone who came to the co-working streams. I've been really enjoying them, and we're going to be doing more of those for sure. Just going to mark the center of my fabric real quick. Beyonce, thank you so much for the sub. Thank you, thank you. Thank you. Super appreciate that. Scuff streamer, do you know what I just realized I forgot to set up? I was like, I think I've got everything. We've got no little buddies. There's no little buddies going on. Alright. So I'm gonna get our little buddies up. I'm gonna give you some POW cam time while I get this rolling. Elfinor, hello! Welcome back. I'm doing okay, I'm doing okay. I was ill last week and I just wasn't up to talking for 2 hours. So I was doing like no talking streams. So I'm really happy to be back doing the Stitch with Me's. And we're starting a new project today. We're totally from scratch, starting a new project. Like you're seeing me getting the fabric into the hoop. There we go. That should be. Yeah, there they are. Why? Okay. It keeps doing this, it keeps resetting, and it's never done this to me before. I don't know what is going on, but that's okay. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Apparently I'm just new me. A friend is having a snack. Yes, this is Pal. I gave her some pellets and some peaches right before stream. And thank you. Yeah, I am feeling better. Many of you know that I have lung damage as a result of COVID. So when I get a cold, my lungs are kind of like the first thing to suffer and the last thing to recover. I need more desk space here. And when they're owie and it's hard for me to breathe, it's hard for me to talk. So, but, which has been the main reason why I've had to cancel streams in the past, which is really sucky. I love streaming. I love hanging out with the community. So Toot had the brilliant idea of doing a no talking co-working stream. Which is something that like I've been interested in the past. There's something that I like attending, but I've never done one myself. So yeah, I just decided to go for it. Use my regular layout, and I really super enjoyed it. So we're going to continue doing those, which is going to give myself a little bit of a break. It's going to help me be able to continue streaming, basically, on the reg without having to manage my lung situation. All right, I'm just going to mute for a second and try and fix my audio a little bit. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I hope that's better. If not, I can mute for a little bit longer, and I have to get up and grab some stuff. I can always grab some stuff in the break too. All the streaming stuff is such magic to me. The most I can do is struggle with OBS. Yeah, OBS is definitely a learning curve for sure. OBS stands for Oh Boy Stuffed, Toot says. Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, I've heard that Streamlabs can also work, but I haven't actually like played with it at all. Alright, maybe that fixed the camera too. Who knows? Not me. And yes, Pao is eating peaches, and I put in a few little pellets, just for a little bit of extra nutrition there. Toot says about OBS, I always feel like I can figure out how to do things that updates and breaks everything. Absolutely. I mean, until this morning, I didn't have a mic on this layout. Thank you so much for the hydrate, too. You only got it to record speedruns of games. Hey, old guy, welcome in. Yeah, my voice is back. Absolutely, and happy March to you as well. So yeah, I think we're going to continue doing the co-working streams Monday and Thursdays, and then Saturday is going to be the Stitch with me. The co-working streams are just a lot easier on my body, basically. Let's see if I can get more of this stitching in. Yeah, basically they're just easier on my body, and I still enjoy hanging out with the community. So, what are we working on today? I should start with that. So I designed a new piece. The piece we're going to be stitching today is going to be available as a freebie. I was thinking of putting it up for sale, but I feel like it's something we might all need around now. So it is going to be up as a freebie. So I have my lovely green Ada here. It's sparkly. I have no idea if this is going to show up on camera or not. A little, oh yeah, a little bit. It's gorgeous in person. I turn off my overhead light because it blows everything out. We might need the overhead light on for this. I realized, you pointed out earlier that my phone was on screen, which I don't really want. Yeah, look at that. Okay, so I've never used this Ada before. We bought it off of Etsy, new shop to us. It is 16 count sparkle Ada. It comes in a billion different colors, like 24 different colors, not a billion, but still a lot of colors. So I have my lovely green sparkly Ada. I have my green box full of green floss, and we are going to stitch a little design today. I'm not going to finish it today. The pattern is about 2250 in terms of stitches, so that I'm fast, but I'm not that fast. So yeah. So it's been a bit of a rough week here at Casa del DH. It's been a bit of a rough week. And I got this quote stuck in my head. And it's often attributed to J.R.R. Tolkien. But he didn't actually write it because it's from the Lord of the Rings movies, which is why people think he wrote it. But it was actually added by the writers. And the quote is, "There is good in this world and it is worth fighting for." And it got stuck in my head. Oh my god, how long is this thread? It got stuck in my head, just like repeating itself over and over. And I designed a little, and then I was also practicing my shading on art. So I did a little like leaf wreath, yeah, around it. And let me see, once I get my floss sorted here. So I grabbed, you guys know I used to have like the little square boxes. But I grabbed these little pencil boxes from Michael's. I like these better because they've got the clampy lip and they hold more. It says it's at the 890. It is the 890, which explains why it's so long. Okay, so let's see. Like, it's hard to show stuff on camera because it just kind of like reflects. But this is the design. And then part says, "Oh, Sam. Frodo wouldn't have gotten half so far with it with Sam. Bye, I'll be sobbing now." I know, right? Hello, Elena. Welcome in. Thank you, Beyonce. So yeah, so this is what we're stitching today. Hey, Quarter Stitch, welcome in. And Elfinar asked a question about visible mending. I have not forgotten. I will get there in a second. I'm just gonna do my promo links. So if you want to get the freebies, they're available on Ko-fi and Patreon. If you sign up for the Patreon, you can do like a free membership, and then you will get, anytime I do a freebie, you get it emailed right to your inbox. I am trying to do a monthly newsletter type thing, but I'm not super consistent with it yet. So if you want to sign up with Patreon, actually Patreons did get a free pattern about 20 minutes ago, and I will be putting that pattern up on Ko-fi after the stream. So if you want this one, follow on Ko-fi or do the free membership on Patreon, and you'll get it when it comes out. I may or may not wait until I finish stitching it. I haven't decided yet. Anyway, visible mending. Yes, I have done visible mending before. I like visible mending. That idea of not wabi sabi. The when they fix stuff with gold in Japan, I like that idea. Like not trying to hide the imperfections and the flaws, but embracing them and making them like a feature. So whenever I darn socks, I deliberately use what Kitsugi. Thank you. I love that like three people responded at the same time. So whenever I darn socks, I make sure that I use contrasting yarn. And I haven't really done, but other than darning socks, I don't know why I'm struggling to thread this. Other than darning socks, I haven't really done any mending at all. But speaking of stitching on clothing, I did pull this out because I wanted to show you guys. I know Olga was asking about it during one of the co-working streams. So this is my sweater. Just go over here. That I am stitching little motifs up and down the sleeves. So here's the start of the project. So the idea is going to be that the sleeves are going to be just completely full of these little motifs, like a tattoo sleeve, basically. And then the body of the sweater is going to be plain. Or it might have something just over the breast. I'm not sure. Part of me wants to do like a name tag for like Eggs Benedict, but I don't know if I actually want to do that or not. I might do that on like something else. Thank you so much, Elfinor. So yeah, so we did this one together on stream, the Void Ghost Pendant. And that was this is the first time I've ever worked with waste canvas. So I did these with waste canvas, no stabilizer because sensory issues. And then, so this is from the Stardew Valley cross stitch book. And then this little Mothman was from a Flossy Fox pattern. The bottle is new. So this little potion bottle is from a Colorfully Sarah pattern. And it was like a round with a bunch of different potion bottles. And I'm going to do a few more. I'm going to do like, I don't know if there's room to do one here, but I want to do like something related to the potion bottles here. And then like a potion bottle here and a potion bottle here. And then I have Catnap from Poppy Playtime. This Catnap almost made me cry several times. Total eclipse of the butt. What did you do, Bella? Why is everything green? Okay, it's color correcting itself now. Elfinor says you could do a little tiny gemstone there. Maybe, yeah, I think there are gemstones on the Colorfully Sarah pattern. I'm going to take another look at it. So yeah, so I'm just doing these one at a time. I cut a little tiny piece of waste canvas and just do the little motif, and then yeah, move on to the next one. So the idea is that I'm going to fill up both sleeves, and I'm super excited about it. And also Bella is here. She says needs motif. Yeah, more motifs. And he also says Sashiko is fun for mending jeans. Yeah, thanks. More motifs. Bella, what have you done? I very rarely get Bella cuddles, but whenever I'm streaming is when she desperately needs my attention. Okay, Bells, I'm gonna make a space for you. There you go. Space for Bella. Space. Bella. Bella, stay in space. Hi, Gwen. Welcome in. Bella, space. Bella in space. With Link Hog Throb. Toot says, Gwen, hi, have you seen the Flossy Fox Shop Patreon for this month? So we're in the Flossy Fox Shop Patreon, as well as the Fine Frog Stitching Patreon, and I realized this morning that they're both abbreviated as FFS. And that kind of hecked with my brain a little bit. So this is how I mark the center of my piece so I don't forget, because half the time, if I fold it, I don't really use super crunchy Ada. So half the time, if I fold it, there's no crease left by the time I get it in the frame. So these are light bulb stitch markers for knitting. So I just open one and I kind of like stick it through the center stitch, and then it stays marked until I can start stitching. So yeah, this Ada is so pretty, guys. Like I am so in love with it. And it was a really good price. So depending on how the stitching experience is, I'm going to be putting the link to the shop in our shop suggestions. Gwen, no, Flossy Fox Shop. I mean, Fine Frog Stitching as well. But Gwen says the Nimble Nightbringer. Nimble Nightbringer is Fine Frog Stitching. Unless that was the one Toot was talking about. I don't know anymore. I'm lost. I thought that you would like the Flossy Fox Shop. But we have a channel in the Discord that is shop suggestions suggested by members. So if you want to go check that out, you're talking about Flossy Fox, right? Yeah, perfect. So yeah, so if this stitches on well and holds up well, I'll be putting the link to the shop there. It was just an Etsy shop, and it was great. And looks like you'll have some time to go check out the Discord, because it is time for our ad break. So if you are watching on Twitch, I'm going to run 3 minutes of ads. If you are watching on YouTube, you can just enjoy the vibes. And I will be back in about 3 minutes. All right, see you guys.
Okay, hello, we are back. I have switched mics, so we have to do all of the audio configuration all over again. But I hope you can hear me that a little clearer. Also, that went swinging wildly to the side when I got up. Sounds good already? Okay, perfect. So yeah, we'll stick with this for the moment. I got a new set of headphones that have the built-in mic, and amazing sound cancel, like the noise canceling. But I feel like the noise canceling is interfering with the mic quality, so I've got to do some testing on that. So I just switched to a different headset. So this is sold as Ada. It is the softest, drapiest Ada I've ever worked with. And I don't know, like, I've never worked with even weave, so I don't know what even weave is like, but I feel it might be closer to an even weave. Good morning, Charles. Welcome in. Good morning, good morning. Gwen says I didn't even realize that was still Ada. So it is sold as Ada, but there's also even weave in the product description. But I don't know if that's because it's even weave being sold as linen, or not linen, even weave being sold as Ada, or if it's like that Etsy marketing thing where you have to put as many keywords in as you possibly can in order to be found. All right. Love that for Etsy. But yeah, this is my sparkle Ada. Look at it sparkle. Okay, I'll try closer. This camera does not focus. And welcome in, Dueling Needles. Hello, hello. Oh, it is even weave? Well, I guess I'm trying even weave for the first time. Oh well. It's pretty. And look at that sparkle. Like, look at it. So if you missed the beginning of stream, I am working on a new start, clearly. 2, 4, 5. This is my own design. It's going to be available as a freebie on the Ko-fi and the Patreon. I was considering selling it, but I feel like it's a sentiment we all need. And it's a quote from Lord of the Rings, the movies, not the books. That is, there's good in this world, and it is worth fighting for. And if you don't know this about me, I love Lord of the Rings. I am a huge Tolkien fan. I have been since I was a wee little child. when I was in like 2nd grade, my mother read me The Hobbit. Hey, Cryptic! Welcome in, welcome in. Cryptic is a fellow streamer here on Twitch. He does horror games, mostly Faz. So slight vibe change, but is very great to hang out with and do some stitching too. So drop him a follow if that's your thing. But when I was in 2nd grade-ish, my mom read me The Hobbit, and that was like our nighttime. We read a chapter every night. And then when I was slightly older, when I was probably 6th grade, I read The Hobbit to my little sister, who was at the time in 2nd grade, as our nightly thing. So, yeah. And then, yeah, I read The Hobbit. I've read Lord of the Rings several times. And then I was in high school when they started making the movies. And let me tell you how that became my fandom obsession. I fell deep and hard for the Lord of the Rings movies, so they are near and dear to my heart. I am a huge Tolkien nerd. I have even tried reading the Silmarillion. I did not get very far. I have a copy of it. I wish to read it at some point, but it's a lot, man. It's too much, man. It's too much. Keep moving, Bella. This is a drive-thru. Thank you. What are you revving up to do there? Oh, just move, I see. Bella, look, your space! Bella in space! Not Bella standing on Pattern Keeper and my keyboard. Bella, ma'am, I know you're overstimulated and you don't want to be overstimulated, so you should calm down. Anyways. The Silmarillion is extremely boring. It is a little bit like reading the Bible. Like the stories are pretty interesting, but it's not. It's a bit of a drag. Right now my current listening obsession is The Song of Durin by Jeff something. It's all low and rumbly. It's wonderful. I really like the dwarven lore. And just the dwarves as a people. The dwarves were Tolkien's favorite race to write. I don't know if a lot of people know that. Jeff Castellucci. Thank you, Cryptic. I knew you would know. Gwen says, I have a friend who has the Silmarillion. She has either attempted and not succeeded or has read it at least twice. Elthenor has read the Silmarillion but doesn't for all of it. Fair. And Cordisha says, I had a friend in high school go see the first Lord of the Rings movie when it came out. Afterwards, she said the whole point of the movie was to get a ring to a mountain and they didn't get it there. She wasn't happy to learn there are 2 more movies to come. That's so I am slightly embarrassed about my reaction at the time to the greater role that they gave Arwen in the movies. It was like, Arwen doesn't belong in the movies, she belongs back in the appendices, which was, I think, just me trying to hang with the boy nerds, but yeah. I've changed my mind on Arwen. Oh my god, I was such a cringe Tolkien nerd in high school. Such a cringe Tolkien nerd in high school. Gwen says, I was mad about the omission of Tom Bombadil, but also I never finished the last book. Yeah, I mean, people have a point in that Tom Bombadil doesn't really serve a narrative purpose. But like, I understand people also getting mad that, like, they left out Tom Bombadil, but then they put in a bunch of extra stuff. They left out Glorfindel, who is... he's, like, one of the second in commands at Rivendell. Yep. Elthanor said Tom Bombadil had to be removed because if anyone got him to care and take an active role in what happened, then everything would be, like, probably just be solved. That's very true. Gwen says, I don't really have any reason to be mad about the omission of Tom Bombadil. I'm pretty sure I only liked him because of the name. It is a pretty cool name. I will give you that. So let me show you guys the pattern again for people who just came in, or who came in more recently. All right, so let me see if I can angle this. So this is the pattern. Mega Stitches 24, thank you so much. God, what did Pow do? Hello, Pow. Okay, so this is the pattern. I am actively working on improving my art. I've said it before, I don't consider myself a very good artist, but I do believe that art is a skill that can be worked at, and I'm working at it. So this is me working on my art skill and doing these leaves. It's the first time I've attempted anything like this. I really like them. Gwen says those are some dope leaves. Thank you so much. So yeah, so this is the pattern. Gwen says, which I realized could have been phrased better. And Elena says, I like the subtle callback to the brooches, leaves of Lorien. Exactly, that was the inspiration, was the leaves of Lorien and just the general green motifs. Atra, hello. I'm feeling a lot better, thank you. I feel like I can actually talk for two hours now. Ditch, hello, welcome, thank you so much for joining us. You like the phrase? I as well like it. I feel like it's something we need. And it is from the reason we're talking about Lord of the Rings is because it's from the Lord of the Rings movies. Gwen says this is the color palette Toot was hinting about. Yes. I really like green. I needed floss for a few different projects, and it just happened that I needed like 7 different shades of green. And Toot, of course, had to tell me for that. Toot says there was so much green. And Elthanor, what is your favorite type of leaf? I think mine are oak leaves. I think mine are oak leaves too. I really like the way they look. I did try and design some oak leaves-ish in this. But yeah. Bella, why are you the way that you are? Gwen says, I look forward to the pattern. Good. Like I said, I don't know when I'm going to releasing it. I do want to release it soon, so I don't know if I'm going to necessarily wait for me to finish the sample stitch. I might. I don't know. I got this phrase stuck in my head. And it's one of those things, like, sometimes I get an idea and then I have to think about it for a long time and, like, try a bunch of different stuff, and then something sticks or something doesn't. But this one kind of, like, leapt fully formed into my brain with the phrase and the leaves. And I really felt like I needed this reminder. I don't need this knot, but I needed the reminder of the message. Gwen says, I never had a preference on leaves, so I would default to maple because they stand out visually quite a bit. But I've been really into acorns for the last several years and only just now realized how cool oak leaves are. Yeah, they are. They are very difficult to design in cross stitch because they're all bits. And yes, Toot's wedding too is an acorn. Mine is a thimble. So a Peter Pan reference. There you go. We got those for our 5th wedding anniversary. Thimbles are just acorn halves. Toot is the thimble of our love. You would hit me if I said that. Pow went away again. I do not know what's going on with the... Ah! Well, we'll get it figured out. It's all good. It's all good, man. And every time it reboots, it zooms back out again. Althanor says a thimble. I kind of want to get started on the leaves, but because the center of it is the words, I have to do at least one word so I can position the leaves appropriately. When I'm doing stuff that has a phrase, I like saving the words for the last. I don't know, like words are easier for me to do because you can kind of like predict what the next thing is and you have to check the pattern less frequently. I mean, especially for my stuff, because like I designed this alphabet. I know what each letter looks like because I designed it. And I know how to spell the word world. Do I know how to pronounce it? No. You know what? I said that I know what the letters look like, and then I stitched it wrong. Let's just frog that little half stitch there. No one has to know. Who has to know? No one has to know. Oh, why are you naughty? Why? Whoop. Elthanor says, I'm really bad at being able to do anything in a straight line. You need guides so badly. I can't sew a straight line to save for the life of me. Let's just mash up all of the phrases. I got these new needles too. I'm trying a new needle, the Boheen, and I find them just harder to thread. I think I'm just gonna stick to my DMC from now on. What was I saying? Yeah, I can't sew in a straight line. even with a sewing machine. I do not have that ability. And like, you know how I was saying that art is a skill and it can be built up? I believe sewing is partly a skill, and part just innate ability. And I'm sure if I worked at it really, really hard, I could learn to sew a straight line. But it's one of those things where I don't really feel the need to do it. Toot says, if only there was a thing to thread a needle. A needle threader, perhaps. If only someone wasn't so stubborn. Yeah, that would be great if such a thing existed. Elthenor says sewing is half practice and half arcane magic to me. It really is. Although a lot became clear to me when I realized how much, like, pressing was involved. Because I always wondered how they, like, kept everything lined up. It's because you fold it and then you, like, iron it flat so it stays like that while you're sewing it. Anyway. But I am wanting to improve my art. I got a free trial of Skillshare. And they have many, like, art courses, and specifically pixel art courses. So I'm going to do a few of those before the free subscription runs out. And then, of course, there's tutorials on YouTube as well that I can learn from. The funny thing is, my first instinct was to go to the library and look for a book on pixel art. And I'm like, this seems like it may be the wrong medium. Elthenor says, I've recently done a repair to the collar by sewing a new trim over it, and I'm actually happy with how it turned out. But trying to sew it in a straight line was painful. Yeah. Oh, sorry about that. My ketchup breath got caught by the headphones. Hunter says, pixel art is actually one of the only types of art I'm actually good at. I'm good at very basic pixel art now. I can do, like, very color blocky stuff. You guys have seen my minis. One thing I really want to improve is my shading. And letting go of some of the need for details. Cryptic says, my sewing experience goes as far as patching a hole in clothes. And that's just practical, never pretty. I know how to run a machine, but just practical use. That's better than I can do. I am sure with practice, many hours, and tutorials, I could run a sewing machine. I have never been really good at it. I need a lot of help. But yeah, I'm excited to see how I can improve my patterns, improve my style, not change my style. I'm really happy with the vibe of my pieces and my aesthetic. I just want to be able to improve them, not change them, if that makes sense. How went dark. I wonder... Gwen says, my forays into sewing involve a lot of hyping myself up and sprinting and yelling and then laying on the floor to cover. For 5 minutes of work. That sounds about right. That sounds about right. Elthenor says mood, honestly. I basically collapsed after finishing my coat collar. Oh no. Oh no, I did a mistake. Okay, there we go. I broke 2 needles on it because the cup is very thick. Oh, the worst. Toot informed me the other day that whenever they break a needle, they drop it into their ort jar. So there are just small pieces of very sharp metal mixed in with their orts. I don't know when I would have occasion to go into their ort jar, but I'm scared to now. Toot says I made choices. What is an ort jar for people who are unfamiliar? I have no idea what the word... I think ort is like an acronym. But it's where you put all your little bits and pieces of thread that you snip off stuff. I don't know. You don't really use them for anything. They're just pretty. So this one's cool. I think this one's going to go on display. I have a new, like, working ort jar. Oh, Gwen says ort doesn't actually stand for anything. Elthenor, we do have a container for sharps, yeah. But it's away. It's its own word. It just means leftovers or something. Oh, interesting. So this is my new ort jar. It's a peanut tin. Toot says, oh really? Thread. And I washed out the peanut tin and I'm using it for orts. And the reason I'm using this particular peanut tin is... Hi, Bella. What? There we go. Look at this branding. Like, that is a face you can trust. That is a thumbs up of approval. Like, look at this gentleman. So this is my new ort jar because I love this tin so much. And it's also pretty easy. I can just pop it up, pop it down. Solid peanut endorsement. Yeah. I will post a better picture of like his facial expression in the Discord because it's hysterical. Elthenor says if I could have I would trust that guy to give them to me. I know, right? Like look at him. Look at that smile. That's a smile you can trust. This camera will not focus this close. I know a lot of people they'll get those like Christmas ornaments, the glass or the plastic that you like are supposed to fill yourself, and they'll use those for their orts. And then like throughout the year they will come back. There you go. There's Pow. Throughout the year they'll like fill one up and this will be like this is their 2024 ort ornament, which I think is cool. But also we would have them or show them off. I love the fabric so much. It's so pretty. Yeah, the ornament. So I got a piece of this color. This is the Reseda green. I got a piece that was 20 inches by 20 inches. So I basically cut it into quarters. So I have like a 10 by 10, 4 10 by 10 pieces because all the designs I wanted to do were smaller than 10 by 10. And if I were trying to 100% min-max this, I would drive myself nuts and also leave myself no margins whatsoever. So yeah. So I have 3 more projects I can do on this Green Ada. And honestly, the shop Patreon from this month might be one of them. I also want to try doing like a little sampler on this just to see how it would look. I have a freebie from Owl Forest that I might give a shot to. It's like it's got like a pumpkin and a little raven and Gwen says, I have tiny mason jars for orts. I had one going for Wham and one for the Parade of Sals, but now I'm just working on Totoro, and it doesn't have its own ort jar, and I don't know what to do with the others. Totoro orts are going in the Sal jar, but I'm too sentimental about the Wham jar. Absolutely, I understand that. Speaking of Sals, guys, if you haven't already picked up Tiny Garden, this is like your last... Well, it's not your last chance. You can sign up after it starts. But this is your last chance to sign up and get the first clue when it drops with everybody else. The first clue is going out on Monday. I am going to put up the link to Tiny Garden as soon as I finish in this end. I am so excited about this one. I love this design. It is absolutely gorgeous. Do you need to add the thumbs up emote to the server? Probably yes. Oh, thank you, Toot, for putting up that link. I was a little bit slow. So Tiny Garden is like a follow-up to Tiny Witch, which was our Sal for the first Sal that I did back in the fall. Several people who are here are participating. But yeah, if you haven't heard of it, if you haven't seen it, if you hadn't had a chance to sign up, please go check it out. If you did Tiny Witch, it is the exact same dimensions. More stitching, but the same dimensions, so you can have, like, matching pieces. And yeah. Old Guy says the clock is ticking for Tiny Garden. I can hardly wait. Awesome. So so the pattern will drop Monday morning, EST, probably between 8 and 10 a.m. It kind of depends on when I wake up and have a cup of coffee. So you can expect to see it in your inbox around then. And yep. So clue 1, 2, 3, clue 1, 2, and 3 are going to come out like 1 week at a time, and then you're going to have a week off in case you need to catch up, and then 4 and 5 are going to next 2 weeks. So yeah. Ooh, what did Gwen say about Totoro? Yes, it is the last window in cross stitch. It's so cute. Alright, wow. Music? Why? I just realized it was dead silent and the POW cam is off again. Alright, we're back. Oh no, what did the closed captions say this time? Wichita, Kansas, so cute. Alright. I mean, I've never been to Wichita. It could be cute. I try not to watch the closed captions because then I just get distracted by what I'm saying. And I also get stressed out about whether or not they're accurate enough for people who are hard of hearing to follow along with. But, yeah. Alright, let's see if I can count correctly. I need to go 12 stitches over from the top of the world. Toot says I'm on top of the world looking down on creation. Two, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I can count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I'm drinking out of my favorite mug here. It's my coffee mug. And I am drinking pecan sticky bun coffee. So I can't caffeinated coffee. It does weird things to my system. So I have to drink decaf. So I've been drinking instant decaf because I only drink a cup at a time, blah, blah, blah. We found a place that has really good decaf coffee grounds. So I got some really fancy decaf coffee as well as a small French press. And I am back in the fancy coffee world, and I am so happy for it. Gwen says, I think I had a dream that the next big pattern I do is going to be on linen. I don't know why, too rich for my blood, but also, maybe. I mean, you won't know until you price it out. Elthenor says that sounds delicious, though. Pecan sticky bun coffee. It's really good. It's very, very good. I just got the French press and the coffee yesterday, so I'm still, like, working out ratios and things like that. I think I am brewing it not hot enough, and with not enough grounds. I summoned Moon. Hello, Moon. I started talking about coffee and a moon appeared. Moon, another streamer on Twitch. She does all kinds of games. Total variety streamer now. Right now it is Another Crab's Treasure and Valorant and Cross Stitch as well. So if you do not follow them, give her a follow, because we are getting her to do more and more Cross Stitch streams. Moon says, how is everyone? We're good. We're good. Only slightly scuffed today. Slightly scuffed. Elthenor says, I have to go sort of... Thank you for the stream. Of course! Thank you so much for dropping by. I hope you can make it again. Thank you for the hydrate. Oh no, that's picking up my drinky sounds. I have to fix that. Nobody needs to hear that. Moon, I'm stitching on the sport. Look at this. I just want to keep showing the camera because it's so pretty. Gwen says, Gwen is cold, but good. So much to do today, I feel that. I have many things to do today after stream. On Saturdays, I usually try and get a little bit of work done after stream, but there's too much I want to get done around the house. I'm going to put up this month's freebie on coffee, and I think that's going to be the extent of my work. I might do a pixel art course later today, just depending on my energy and my time. Let's hope Gwen feels warm soon. Yeah, it's cold. We got a big snowstorm through yesterday, so everything just feels kind of like peaceful and cold and like blanketed. Oh no, Gwen. Gwen has friends coming tomorrow for learning how to stitch, and you have so much cleaning to do. Not the ADHD cleaning. The last minute people are coming over. I must clean my entire house clean. Moon feels that too. It's effective. It is effective. The problem is we don't have people coming over like ever. Gwen says, I am not beholden to perfectionism, but you have been making a mental checklist and saving it all for today. I mean, if you function best under pressure, that's the way to do it. I find there are some things I have to leave to the last, because if I do them too early, they're just going to be in a state again. But I have to... Let's see, what's on my list for today? I've got some kitty city maintenance to do. I have doom boxes that need to be put away, including a ton of crafting supplies that have just been accumulating. Pow's fountain is getting a clean. That we've got to do. There's bathrooms need to be cleaned. Floors need to be cleaned. I have to put away groceries. Groceries are coming in this afternoon. Lots to do. Gwen says, like, I could have spent 2 minutes picking up stuff in the floor in the bathroom and 5 minutes cleaning the bathtub, but if I did those on Wednesday, then I would only have the heavy brain stuff today. That's very true. Like, what to do with doom piles? Yeah. And I think my problem is when I have doom piles and people coming over, I just hide the doom piles. I hide them away, and then I can deal with them later. The palace fountain is getting a clean. Yeah, the palace fountain. That sounds about right. Yeah, for you, Miss. And then hopefully more stitching time on this. And on the Spooktacular Sampler, which is getting really close to a finish. I'm down to 1,400 stitches on it. And most of those are the verse, which, like I said, I find the verses to be the easiest and funnest part for myself. So I'm doing like everything but the verse first. I actually finished the entire there's a border that goes around the entire piece, and it's just a single row of black. It is the most boring thing to stitch, but I finished it yesterday, so it's done now, and that's exciting. And if it's wrong in that it's a stitch too high or stitch too low, I don't care. It's staying where it is. I've already fudged so many things on this sampler. So one of the first things I started when I got back into stitching, I might try and see if I can grab it here. Yeah, I'm gonna mute the mic for a second and see if I can grab it. Gwen says, when I first started Totoro and I effed up the border. Oh no. On Moon's immediate to-do list is wake up Commander so you can brave the cold. You already sent out Midnight to brave the cold. It felt like a mom, like, are you sure you have enough layers? Yeah. Our friend Midnight Crazy came from Texas to Canada to visit in this snowstorm, so that's fun. The poor boy. Anyway, so this is Spooktacular Sampler. I started this. I knew nothing Jon Snow. This was a sampler that was called for on like 36 count linen, and there were like quarter stitches, and there were some stitches that were over 2 and some stitches that were over 1, and I did not know what I was getting into. So I basically recharted a bunch of it. And also, this is one of those like pieces that you get from Amazon, and it comes this big, and I was like, oh perfect, it'll fit. Look at these margins. Look at the margins that I left for myself. I didn't cut this. I was just like, oh, it'll fit perfectly. I knew nothing. But it's almost done. I finished all of this top part. And then this section here is the yeah, I am not big in brain department. So this section here, there's like a verse here, and then there's a little gravestone thing here, and some pumpkins up here. So I'm gonna do the gravestones, and then the pumpkins, and then the verse. So this was a Just Cross Stitch magazine piece. I have no idea which issue. I think like Halloween 2022, maybe. Toot says, Moon, he's southern. You can't send him out in Canadian snow. He keeps saying he's looking forward to being cold. No, not this cold. Not this cold. Thank you, Gwen. Gwen says it fits perfectly. Yeah, it does fit perfectly. Hi, Jums. Hi, Jums. I'm not sure how cold we're talking where Moon is at. It's minus 11 Celsius here right now, according to my windows. Minus 20 Celsius. Okay. To be fair, right now it's minus 2. Oh, so it's warm. Quentin says, yeah, that's gross. We were there a couple weeks ago. I know. Yeah, the weather's been all over the place here, honestly. Like, yesterday, or the day before, it was so hot in our condo that, like, we had the windows open and everything, and now today I'm, like, comfortably chill with all the windows closed. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Gwen said with about minus 28 wind chill. Oof. No thank you. Yesterday was sweater weather, and today it's back to freezing. Jim says, what's a Celsius? That's what the rest of the world uses, because it makes more sense than Fahrenheit. Just saying. It sounds so much more dramatic, though. It does. It does. The big numbers sound scary. And also the name is pretty cool. Like I'd be walking around in 100-degree weather in summer. Yeah. Whereas for me, that sounds like you are literally boiling. Hey, Callie! Welcome in! We're currently having false spring up here. With our 60 Fahrenheit, 50... Oh, man. I'm dreaming of spring. I am dreaming of spring. Speaking of spring... Let's just do a really bad segue. There is a new freebie up on the Patreon. If you're in the Patreon, you would have received it around 10. But it's going up on coffee after the stream. Basically, like, when I have a chance. I'm gonna eat lunch first, and then I'm gonna put it up. And it is the companion to January's freebie, which was the Cozy Winter Cat. So this is Cozy Spring Cat. And I hope you guys will like it. It's super cute, in my opinion. I'm always really slow at putting up like my links because I start talking about things when I'm in the middle of something fiddly. So if you want to grab it, those are the 2 links there. Yeah, it's already available on Patreon. Quarter Stitch requesting the alien fact. All right, let me just tick off the stitches I just did. So, let's talk about Fedi. So this is kind of like half Toot doing the hydrate. Thank you there. Not the hydrate, the aliens redeem. Okay, so this is kind of like half Ancient Aliens, half past life mysticism. Thank you for the hydrate. Depending on like who you talk to. So there's a British woman. Her name was Dorothy. And when she was a little tiny girl, she fell down some stairs. And the doctor came and saw her and pronounced her to be dead. Like, showed no sign. It was a doctor, like an actual doctor. And so he went away to like get his stuff, and then came back to collect what he thought was going to be a body. And in fact, he was very surprised to find the little girl, Dorothy, she was laughing, she was giggling, she was eating candy, she was fine. And yeah, so he was like, okay, I guess I was wrong then. But after this, my ad break is starting. Okay. Let me see if I can pause the ad break. Snooze. Okay. So after this, she started displaying some weird behaviors, and she was like, I want to go home, and her parents were like, this is your home, and she was like, no, like my real home. So, and then they took her to London, and she ran into the Egyptian gallery, and she was like, okay, finally, I'm like, this is my stuff. So basically, as she grew up, she received visions that she had been a priestess of Isis who lived in, oh god, now I'm forgetting the name of the town, in Egypt. So she had been a priestess of Isis. She was in a relationship with the pharaoh, Fedi, at the time, and she had all of these like life memories, and she remembered living in the town, basically. And she eventually traveled to Egypt. She got married. She traveled. She had a son who she named Seti, which is why she's known as Seti. It means like mother of Seti. Abydos, that is the name of the city. So she finally traveled to Abydos, and she was like, okay, I'm. And the archaeologist who was there was like, yeah, okay, sure. But she was able to locate and identify parts of the temple that she should not have been able to, that hadn't been published. There was no like books on it, and she would be like, go dig over there, you're gonna find a garden. And they're like, no, there's no garden over there. And then they go and dig, and there would be a garden there, that kind of thing. So they actually, the temple of Abydos was in ruins. It was in pieces. And with Seti's guidance, they rebuilt it. They put it back together because she's like, I used to live here. I remember what it looked like. So a lot of people think that some people think that it was past life regression. Some people think that it was, aliens. But whatever it was super spooky. Like, she was right 100% of the time. Sure, like, she was never wrong about where something was, or what something was, or what a fresco meant, or something like that. So, she passed away. She lived to be like in her late 80s. She passed away, and she's buried under the tombstone, and it just says reunited with His Majesty. That's what it says on the tombstone. But she received visions. She was visited by various figures in, like white robes, who would have her transcribe things in a language that she wasn't able to write. It was like a hieroglyphic shorthand script. So she would write down pages and pages and pages of this from her nighttime visitations, and then in the morning she'd be like, I don't read this, and eventually had to like go and get it translated, and realize that she was reading the story of her own. So it's not a super Ancient Aliens fact, but it's super interesting. Anyways, Thank you, Simply Pickles, for the follow. Welcome in. Thank you, Toot, for the disclaimer. And I am going to very quickly run an ad break so that we don't have any more pre-rolls for anyone else coming in. So let's throw up the break screen. I'm going to run a 3-minute ad here on Twitch. If you're watching on YouTube, just enjoy the vibes. And we'll be back in 3 minutes. Alright, we're back. Hello, hello. I hope you guys aren't still in ads. My Twitch is being twitchy, as usual. But yes, Moon says, I love that kind of story with people being eerily right about details there's no way anyone knows about. Absolutely. I love that stuff. Remote viewing always gets me. Quartershire says, I can't imagine how creepy that would be as a parent to hear, take me home to my real home from your child. Yeah. Yeah, apparently she got super creepy after her fall. Oh no, I have... Do you like my, like, 2 mugs of coffee and tumbler? Moon says children are creepy already. Imagine adding that to them. Absolutely. Children are terrifying. Just winding up some floss before I get completely lost in it. Thank you for the hydrate, Moon. Coffee. My coffee's cold, but that's okay. It's funny, I don't like iced coffee, but I don't mind coffee that was hot that has cooled down. Like, obviously hot coffee is the best, but I'll drink it if it's cooled down. I am fake gay. Thank you, Moon. Moon says DH fake gay. I know, I'm a disgrace to the gay race. And for those of you who missed it, this is my green Ada. This is my green box. This is my green floss. This is my green tumbler. I like green. Yeah. I sent Toot. So Toot helps me with all of my designs because they have a fantastic eye for color and composition. So I sent Toot like 3 different palettes of green yesterday. I'm like, which green do I want? Do I want like a forest green? Do I want like a hunter green? Do I want the chartreuse? I didn't even look at the parrot. The parrot green would be good too. Moon says you two are such a good team, and Toot bites me. Yep. No, we are a great team. The cozy DH as a thing would not be possible without Toot. So before I get completely sidetracked, Toot is your spooky older sibling. So they also stream here on Twitch. Much more than I do. They do basically horror ASMR, someone described it as, and I love that description. But they play spooky games 4 times a week. No talking, just games. It's like when your older sibling would play games and you'd hang out on the couch and just like watch them. It's like that. But we're all hanging out in the chat, talking about stuff, hydrating, of course, because it's Toot. So yeah, they'll be live again tomorrow morning for Ghost Church. So that'll be some Phasmophobia gameplay tomorrow from 10 to 1 EST. But like, I do mean it, because like I was saying, art is a skill, you build it up, but some people do have kind of like a natural bent to it, and Toot just has a really good eye for color and composition. Like they'll be like, this is kind of off, and I'll be like, yeah, you're right, and then I'll like twitch something 2 pixels to the side, and it's like, yeah, that's better. Which is why it's great having them as a test stitcher, because they can identify problems very quickly. But many of you have test stitched or are test stitching for me at the moment as well, which I super appreciate. It's always incredible to see somebody else stitching up your design. And then you guys are just so generous with your time and abilities. I am jumping around a little bit. Like, usually I would try and get more of one color done. But I am jumping around a little bit because I want to see how these leaves stitch up before I go much further. And making sure I have the right balance of colors. If the shading is too subtle, if I need to spread out the colors a little bit more. Quarterstitch says I'm working on that test stitch now. Yes. I don't know if you guys remember, but we did a design with me on stream where I was working on a hydration sampler. And Quarterstitch is testing that for me right now. It's going to be up in the shop towards the end of March. And yeah, it looks amazing, and I am so grateful. I am fighting with my design program though, because I don't know if you remember, but we put in the Pussy Willows with the French knots, and I can't get the French knots to show up correctly on the exported pattern. So, you know, just little design things. If you guys are interested in watching me design, when I'm doing the co-working streams, if I am working on a design or graphics, I will put that up on the screen for you to see, so you can get kind of like a sneak peek of my design process. I'll put up everything I'm working on because a lot of it is just like really boring Notion stuff or like writing copy, or some stuff I can't show you because it's for secrets. But yeah, like designing and graphics, I'll put up on the screen while I'm working on them. And Toot says, I'm also working on a Cozy DH test stitch right now. Yes. Yes. Toot it's a very cool piece. It's another one of the spooky landscapes. So like the lighthouse, the Port Hope one. Point Hope, not Port Hope. But this one is Maple Lodge Campsite. It looks so good. I am so excited. Toot is stitching on it right now, which is so cool. Moon says secrets. Yes, secrets. Which is really cool that I like have secrets that I have cross-stitch design secrets. That makes me happy. It makes me feel like a real designer. The imposter syndrome is very great at times. Very, very great. But we're kind of moving into... So I do my designs quarterly. Like I do my planning quarterly. And then I kind of like design all of my patterns at the end of the previous quarter, if that makes sense. So I'm going to be doing a ton of designing for the last for the rest of March is just going to be mostly designing because I've done all of my other work. And I'm really excited because I've got so many ideas bouncing around. I'm really excited about incorporating some of the new techniques I'm learning. Yeah. Quarterstitch says, I have some friends that work at Stanley and I might have to send this to them when I'm done. They'd really like it. Gwen says, okay, if the Phasmo locations are going to be a thing, I might have to make a request so I can make a set for my friends. They are going to be a thing. I'm planning on doing every map. But if you have a specific request, I can bump that one up the queue. because I am planning on doing every map. You have a friend who is cursed by Grafton? Yeah, Grafton is one that I actually have sketches done for, so that'll be happening soon-ish. Yeah, Grafton is waiting till after the rework. Like, I have sketches for it, but I'm going to wait to release the final pattern until after the rework. Same with Bleasdale. I might not wait on Tanglewood. Tanglewood is also getting a rework, but I want to do the exterior, and I don't think there's going to be changes to the exterior of Tanglewood. So, we'll see. And I do love, like, I love how tiny they are. I get super cute aggression about those little tiny landscapes. Like, cute aggression. I like making small stuff. I tried making big stuff. It didn't super work out for me. Like, I think it looks good, but I didn't enjoy it as much as I like doing the tiny stuff. Which is why I want to focus on learning pixel art and learning to scale down. And like Flossy Fox Shop that we were discussing earlier does this really well in using just a few pixels to not even depict but suggest something. So you're like, okay, yeah, that's supposed to be this, because in context it looks like the thing. But if you just saw that collection of pixels, you know, in the wild, it might not look so thing-like, if that makes sense. Another designer who does that really well is Black Walt Stitching. If you haven't checked them out, I don't have a command for them, I don't think. But, do I? Do I? No, I don't. Okay. I am eventually going to have commands for links to designers that I recommend and things like that. But Liz from Black Walt Stitching is really good at those small pixel art details. It's done? Oh, no. Okay, it's not done, but here is Maple Lodge Campsite. So it's almost done. Toot is just having to do the forest on the other side. But yeah, this is Maple Lodge Campsite. So here's the campsite. You've got the little tents. You've got the pier into the lake. There's definitely nothing hiding in the lake. And then there's Point Hope, because you can see Point Hope from Maple Lodge. And one thing I really liked about this piece is you've got the light from the lighthouse reflected in the single light that's on down at the Maple Lodge. So yeah. And if you've played Maple Lodge a lot, you will know there's something under the house. But yeah, and then I love the moon. I love this piece. I love it. It looks so good. And of course, Toot is doing an amazing job. So this will probably be finished today because it's very far along. But yeah. So yeah, look out for this. It is coming next week, actually. This one's dropping next week. Thank you so much, Gwen. Alright. That, I think it's just about time to wrap up here. Hang on one second. Oh, no, never mind. Yeah, I think it's time to wrap up because it's been a couple of hours. My voice is getting tired. My lungs are achy. Pow's camera is going off. So I'm just going to finish that stitch. Yeah, I finished the correct stitch. That's a thing. So thank you guys for joining. Here's how far we got today on our new sparkly Ada. So let's put up the ending screen here. I got the whole world done, exactly. Very impressive. So let's talk about all of the things. So, Tiny Garden. Go sign up. The first clue drops on Monday. So if you want to sign up for Tiny Garden, get all of your stuff prepared. This is the weekend to do it. You can sign up through Ko-fi or Etsy. Alright, so that's the weekend to do it. Freebies, if you'd like freebies, those are through Ko-fi and Patreon. If you want to check out the other patterns I have for sale, everything is listed on the Ko-fi. I have the same stock on Ko-fi and Etsy, except there's also freebies on Ko-fi. But I do have an Etsy, so you can check those out. If you favorite the shop, even if you don't buy anything, it really super helps us out. So go and check out the Etsy. If you'd like to join the Discord, we do have a Discord server. You are more than welcome to join. So what am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? I'm going to do one more shout out for Toot. Go follow Toot if you do not already follow Toot. So, streams this week. Toot is going to be live tomorrow morning for Ghost Church, and then they're also going to be live Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and next Sunday, 10 to 1-ish Eastern. And they're going to be doing their no commentary gameplay. I will be live again on Monday afternoon. So Toot's going to stream in the morning. We're going to take a lunch break, and then I'm going to stream in the afternoon from 2 to 5. That's going to be a cozy co-working. So no mic, just vibes. We're going to do another cozy co-working on Thursday morning from 10 Eastern to 1 p.m.-ish. And then I'll be back for another chatty stitch with me like this on Saturday. So if there are any changes, I'll announce them in the Discord, and try and announce them other places. I will probably forget to announce them other places, let's be real honest. But yeah, so at this point, I would like everyone who is watching on Twitch to say goodbye to everybody who's watching on YouTube, and everybody who's watching on YouTube to say goodbye to everybody who's watching on Twitch. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. Thank you for just being here. Thanks for being patient with me while I was off for a couple of weeks from Stitch With Me's. And thank you so much for trying out the Cozy Co-working. I am so happy with the response I've gotten. And if you haven't checked out one of those streams, I hope you will. You are very welcome, Gwen. You have a wonderful rest of your day as well, Gwen. Alright, so goodbye, Twitch. Goodbye, goodbye, YouTube. We're going to say goodbye, YouTube. YouTube, my friends, I will see you in the coffee shop. I will see you in the comment section. I will see you, hopefully in the tiny garden, but most importantly, I will see you in my heart. All right, bye guys. Bye bye. All right, now that it's just us here on Twitch, let